Hello, 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 everybody. For those on LinkedIn, thank you for watching. This is a late night stream. I doubt any of you are going to be on there. For those on YouTube, thank you for watching our Productions Northwest channel. I know it's a little late too. I just wanted to talk about a product that I will be using probably exclusively moving forward. Uh, it's going to be EVMUX. As you can see, the little powered by EVMUX sign. There it is. There it is. EVMUX powered sign. There's a couple of reasons why I'm going with EVMUX. I have been looking at so many options from VMix and everything else to be able to produce shows and podcasts so that we could have the best quality out there. I have worked with Riverside several times throughout the years as part of being in video productions, doing podcasts for companies like iHeartMedia. Riverside is really great. Got to give them props. The great source and great back studio and everything. Let me tell you the reasons I'm working with this product. So one of the main reasons why I'm working with this product is that you have the ability to collaborate with the marketing team or the producer and all the rest and have them controlling things too, adding into the scenes and developing the scenes if there's some changes in our actual broadcast. So, for example, we may have a new person that's coming in that I did not know was coming in. They just were able to book that person. I'm not always going to be able to build that scene, but because I have a scene already built, and I'll talk about scenes in a second, they can duplicate the scene that I've got geared to come up, add that other person in, put in their titles, do all the rest of that while I'm functioning the show. And we can have that conversation too in text like, oh, okay, let's have this quick conversation. You're adding in this new person. Great. I'm going to talk to them when I get into our green room, and we're going to kind of go over what's going on, how I'm going to bring them in. And I can look at the scene and make sure the scene works good when I'm in studio mode. So that's one of those things I'm going to talk about as to one of the benefits of working with EVMUX 2. The other benefit is scenes. The scenes are phenomenal. I've looked at StreamYards, I've looked at Restream, I've looked at VMix, I have looked at, I just drew a blank on the other desktop one. There's a few other ones in OBS. My head's going to hurt until I get that answer. But I've looked at all of them, and the scene buildings are great on the desktop. But when you're talking about being able to modify a scene, it's usually limited to the person on the desktop controlling it. vMix is that way, and for the life of me, let me look. Wirecast, that's the one I'm looking for. Wirecast is the other one, and when you are on the desktop controlling Wirecast and you're controlling vMix or OBS, you're the controller. I'm busy producing the show, so you telling me I've got to add in somebody, so I've got to pay attention to the show and then build more. The collaborator being able to build on the scene is magnifique. And you can, depending on which structure plan you buy, you can have up to 4 collaborators on the scene, which is awesome. You can also have up to 12 people come onto the screen at once, which is great. And as you can see, I've got the background back there, so I can put whatever background I want. There's no green screen here. If I had a green screen, this is actually, there wouldn't be any issues that you're seeing right here. If I had a green screen, it'd be absolutely perfect, but I'm literally just relaxing at one of my favorite spots, the sports bar, to watch stuff, and it's pretty dead, so I just figured I'd do a live stream here and just talk about it. It's not like a bar. I'm at Tulalip. I'm just relaxing. I like watching like the basketball games and stuff here. It's pretty cool, and then drinking my coffee. That being said, scenes. Scenes are amazing. If you are running a show and you need to run a show to work perfect, EVMUX scenes are phenomenal for this. What I have done in the past many times, and I've been looking at these sources and trying different ones, is when I had the full version of this, which I'm going back to the full version after this stream, I would just put a video in, and at the end of the video, I tell it to jump to the next scene, which is really cool. So if you have like a commercial or anything like that, you can actually build your commercials, throw them into your scene, which is pro scene. And as you're going through those and you've got done with your segment, you go into your commercial could be a minute or 2 minutes long, 30 seconds long, or you have three different commercials in one because you got people who are paying to be there. Or you want to make this into a real broadcast, you can have those run, and that takes your break. You set the next people, prompt them to go. They automatically change scenes. You can automate this even more because these scenes are layered on top of each other. So each element is layered on top of the next element. You can put the video on the bottom element that has no audio playing and have that as your timer. So you can have like a timer video. So if you've got a 10-minute timer for a segment. You know it's 10 minutes. They know it's 10 minutes. Once that starts, you have to let them know. When you're looking at the clock going, oh my God, we're about to switch in about 30 seconds. And you know when that scene started, there's a timer on it that lets you know how long that scene's been going. And you can see, oh, we're going to be done in about 30 seconds and let people know, or the scenes will automatically switch. What this helps with is that few moments when there's somebody who want to get an extra point across and we just don't have the time for it. It still allows us to record that ISO later. So just so you know, we're not taking away from their ability to speak. We also do have to keep a timeline. And we can still bring that great point in. So say if there's a transition, we can still bring that stuff back in later in post because we're going to get an ISO recording from each one of the computers. We just tell people to leave their computer on. ISO recording's done at their computer, and then it is sent up to the cloud, and we get that. So it usually takes, depending on how long the broadcast was, so it can take anywhere between 5 minutes to an hour for it to go up. So we just let them know that ahead of time. A lot of times it works out great. It's just ISO recordings. But being able to build the scenes, you can add in PNGs, videos, multiple elements, multiple types of media. You just can't bring in .265 media. You still have to do .264. And there's upwards to, depending on your plan, up to 150 gigabytes of media and other stuff that you can bring in there. You can also bring in transitions, stringers, all the rest of that, which is really good in the pro scene built. So if you have a stringer for your channel that you're developing, we can put that stringer in there. So when you do the transitions, it always transitions, shows your channels, and then moves that back, which is beautiful. I love that. The other piece that's really cool is multicasting. I love how they do their multicasting. Most of these services that do multicasting, it depends on your side, not the server side. EVMUX is server side, which means you only need enough for a 1080p single stream going up, and they handle everything server side. And there's a couple of advantages to that. Number one, reliability on internet. So something I would never tell anyone to do would be to accidentally lose your internet in the middle of a stream. Because if you lose your internet in the middle of a stream, which just happened to me right there because I shut the internet off, nobody in their right mind would shut the internet off, but I just did. Why did I shut it off? Well, let's see if this actually worked like it's normally worked for me. Normally what happens is I will do a live stream, and we may lose the data every once in a while because I can't count on the reliability someplace. But because they do the server side of this, I didn't lose the internet. Now, I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm going to shut off the internet on my laptop. Shut it back on. Now, I've shut it back on. So it was about 10 or 15 seconds of no internet, and it just freeze frames the last one. So that whole time there where you saw that frozen, there was no internet. So this is something that you would never, I would never advise anyone to do this with your Wi-Fi and on a live stream. But because they do everything on the server side, if you have a small interruption in your internet, you will be just fine. And I found this out by accident. So I was at a family celebration event, and I was doing a multicast or a single cast. I don't remember what it was. The DJ came back and saw me and said, "Man, it sucked that we lost their internet. Too bad they lost their stream." And the stream is important. So these folks were over in East Africa, and I was sending the live stream there for this family celebration, and unbelievably, it worked. Do you know how exciting it is to know you have that reliability on your transmission? I mean, there's nothing like that. And then as we continue on, I can stream to paywall services or any RTMP. I love that part. That includes like Instagram, TikTok, for all those people who are trying to develop their social media feed, TikTok, all the rest of that. With that comes pre-records. So depending on my client, we know that your live streams need to be perfect. We know that your broadcasts or your premieres need to be perfect. We can do it for you. Because we're going to be doing what you call pre-records, we can pre-record anywhere from 2 hours to 6 hours, or actually 2 hours to 8 hours, depending on which program you choose. And you can have those dropped every single time in order and properly managed. And a lot of what I do is manage this stuff for you. I'm not really here to take away from your team. I'm here to enhance your team. And that's one of the other advantages of running with EVMUX is you can run that side of it. For those who are in our marketing side, who are like, what is the benefit for this? How come I'd want to work with you? And the fact that you work with EVMUX is that you will get a reliable product that goes out every single time and scheduled to go out when it's supposed to go out. So we can have yours scheduled specifically for you. And that is a huge, huge, huge benefit. And then everything's in 1080p. This is one of the areas that I love about EVMUX. When you're looking at services, and I love great services, I want them to be consistent. When you're having all of these different levels of streaming, it's either the server side's filled or their transmission, there's something about their side that does not want to work with full HD. And this giving you full HD, and it gives you the option for HD 60. Now that's really important too for our sports people. For all the universities and all of the sports events who want to stream but they can't quite go up to SRT, you get a lot of the options here to be able to do those streamings. Beyond that, I like the ease and ability of using this service. A lot of other services are pretty good, but when you get underneath the hood, that's where things get difficult. EVMUX is not difficult, but it's also something where you would need to have experience of working with vMix, working with Wirecast type services, working with an eCam type services on a desktop, because the real advantage of this one is building out scenes and developing your scenes. Comment section works really good on here too. So working with anyone who wants to develop a community, you can really develop a strong community. You can have a moderator handling all of the comments side. That's the advantage of having that extra chair, is a moderator can answer all those questions for you, and they don't have to be in the same room as you. And I can also run these studios from anywhere. So I could be in Seattle, I could be in Portland, Maine, I could be in Chicago, I could be in Dallas, I could be in Miami, I can be in LA. Or on our scheduled times, I'm able to run your studio as you need it to be ran. Now, live bands. You want to have a good 300 plus kilobit audio. This has the option for it. which is really, really amazing. And you can do a lot of magnificent things with that. The last piece I'm going to talk about is embedding, and then I'm going to kind of let this go because I saved the money saver for the last piece. The money saver is embedding. If you've ever done embedding and you've ever done it with large volumes of people, um, 500 people or so, the cost can get up there if you're doing it consistently. And this has, reasonable level of cost up to 10,000. After that, there's some customization as to the embedded in a number of views. But I mean, being able to, with a lot of the small and medium-sized companies getting to 1,000 to 10,000 per month of embedded watching in the player, that's doing a really good month. That's just a solid month on that one there. So I think we're going to call it good here. It's been fun talking about this, and I'm looking at the image here, and it came across clean and clear. That's one of the things I like about working with EVMUX. It just looks good. Have a good day. Thank you very much for watching. And for everyone out there in LinkedIn, thank you. Appreciate you. You're all magnificent, great people. For everyone on YouTube, thank you. You're magnificent. You're great people. I appreciate you watching. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm using one of these microphones, over the ear, it's because I'm in a place that's loud, and this has noise cancellation built into it because it's a super cardio. Gotta go.